Welcome back, everybody. It is Monday night, so this is your questions and answers. It's time. It's going to be a preseason game in a couple of days. I hope that you're excited because I am, and I don't even enjoy the preseason. So we have a ton coming for you. Dan is with me all night tonight. We're going to get to all your answers and take care of those things that are, I don't know, bugging you, not bugging you. We'll get into it all. Welcome to RGR Football. Dancing along with the song sometimes. It happens.
It's all in my there's so much bass.
I know, right? These aren't that bad, but they're getting old, so I'm probably gonna blow something here pretty soon. Welcome back, folks. Hope that you're excited. It's the first week or second week of August, first week where they can actually go hit somebody, and they're going to do that against the 49ers. If you want to hear the thing that's really bothering me, go check out Locked On Chiefs for Tuesday. I just recorded that a few minutes ago, and you guys, we'll probably get to it here. Lot going on, though. A lot of comings and goings, bumps, bruises, small injuries that the guys are recovering from. Dan, you got out to camp the other day. How did it look for, that 14 and a half seconds you got to see?
Yeah, got out to camp might about be exactly what happened. I got there, sat in line, sat down in the bleachers for like 15 minutes, and lightning struck. It was my luck is ever I try to do anything related to going to do anything. So it was just kind of normal. But again, they're running their normal stuff. If you guys saw the video from this morning, I went over most of my the things that I saw in that. And the biggest thing I definitely saw was the 3 wide receiver sets being Pringle, Hardman, and Hill when I saw it. That's just the 15 minutes that I saw. So I can take a little from that because they were doing a little bit of install. They didn't do full team drills or anything. So again, Neiman looks good. I'm just going to tell you now, he looks good physically. He looks good moving, which is very important for this team, especially if he's going to be their dime backer, which it looks like he is. So it was nice to at least get there. I was very hopeful that they were going to come back out, but they didn't. They just gave up.
It happens, why take a chance? At least I was wondering whether they issued you a rowboat there because I saw the downpour that ensued. It was pretty good. Yeah. And folks, I have a unfortunate announcement, much like you've seen with a number of other groups, including KCSN and a bunch of guys. We're not going to do a formal meetup. I did talk to some venues in town, a lot of questions about the masking thing and all that. And I'm not getting into either frustrated people one way or the other about masks. We're putting a bunch of people in the room in case somebody gets sick. I'm not going to be responsible. Yeah. So I will be at practice on the 16th on Monday morning, bright and early. I float around a lot. I tend to post up on the hill because I like to watch everything at once. A lot of people, including I think that Derek walked over the other day, are in the bleachers shooting some of the 11. Last time I tried to shoot 11, BJ Kissel came in and said, "You're not filming that, right?" I'm like, no, man. So
that may,
yeah. So I'll be floating around, but if you guys want to come say hi, please do. Ben brought back. Thank you very much. Our super chatter extraordinaire. You're pushing Gooch at this point, my friend, as the biggest contributor for those members. Rogue Head Huddle. I didn't get it out last night. I was way behind. It came out this afternoon. That's Gooch and Stevie's show for the members. If you want to become a member, it's over there underneath Dan. And that's how you get into it. It's also how you get into Discord. That's one of the perks for the members. You just got to be a starter level or above right now. Eventually, we're going to get to everyone, but not right off the bat. Now, Ben, I looked for a comment. Thank you for the support and the super chat, folks. If you want to help us out, support us, Ben's showing you how to do it here with the super chat down in there. You can also grab the tees and whatnot. I didn't see a comment. So, I was clearly already behind when I jumped into the chat. So, I'm just starting it, and I'm just trying to show all the super chats. We'll make sure we get this, but I want to answer everybody's question. If you asked one earlier and I can't see it, come back around, ask it again. I'm sure Aaron will be in here eventually. I don't see him yet, but maybe I'm just
yes,
slow.
He is. He's in here.
Is he? Okay.
Yeah.
And Aaron will tell you, it helps me find all the questions if you put question marks in front of them like Voodoo did. So we're going to start with Voodoo because that's the first one in my screen that I see. It's only from a few minutes ago, so hopefully I'm not too terribly behind. But do you think CJ is more of an edge run defender? Or do you think he's going to have the Michael Bennett kind of versatility? I think he clearly has that versatility. Now, Michael Bennett, I don't like to put people's names on it because Michael could do just about anything. But as I understand it, from the beat reporters, Chris Jones single-handedly wrecked the offense today.
Yeah.
10 days in camp. So it's not like it's day one and Chris just came in super ready to go. He is that good, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah, he's incredible. He's in literally the best shape of his life, lost another 15 pounds over this offseason. He talked about it on NFL Network that I finally have. Thank you, Hulu, for listening to me and getting in the NFL Network so I can watch it whenever I want to. But yes, they did an interview with Chris Jones today. He talked about his diet change. He's become like a pescatarian, does less Pilates, yoga, stuff like that. He looks incredible. Like he's about the 290. Like he doesn't look that big. He looks like he's slimmed down even more than that, but he carries his weight so well. The dude is incredible. He's going to destroy offensive lines on the end at defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. He's that good.
Yeah, I will not argue with you at all. I saw Julian for a minute as I was scrolling. Julian, hi, how are you? You have an invite to Discord because you are one of the guys that is in there. I haven't seen you sign up yet, and sometimes those things expire. So if you have any trouble when you go to sign up for Discord, just email me back and we'll get another link. And folks, if you want to be in our private Discord just for the members, sign up for the memberships, become a starter and above. And like I said, eventually we'll get to everybody. But that's where we're at right now. And Eric is one of our Discord members and our starter level members. And he said, does the Remmer situation make it less likely the Chiefs shop Wylie? That's a really good question. And I just, without being in the trading room, I don't know. What do you think, Dan?
You know, it's a difficult situation. They brought in Brian Witzman with the Nick Keizer retirement. That tells me they're a little uncomfortable with their offensive line situation with the injuries. So I'm leaning more to them looking to have depth this right now because they don't have a lot, especially if, say, Wylie gets hurt next. It's like, who do they have? If you got Remmers, you got Long, then you have Wylie out. They don't have any other. Prince Teo not practicing. They don't have any depth. They have none right now. So it's very important that they keep what they have. And as people get healthier, maybe we see guys like Wylie end up getting shopped because I do think on the market, Wylie can get you, 7th round or something like that. The guy you've been looking for and that kind of thing. So he does have the snaps to get you something in return, I think. So as right now, I would say mostly they need the depth.
Yeah, the just in case scenarios, you're right.
Yep.
Now, if Remmers recovers and he's fine, maybe because the nice thing about everything they're doing with Wylie and moving him around the offensive line is that does make him look attractive. Now, everybody saw the Super Bowl, but they also saw the Saints game where he stopped Cam Jordan and did a very good job. So there's bits of both. But if he, LDT, and Blythe are your core 3 backups, assuming Niang is starting and Remmers is the other tackle backup, that's 9.
Yeah.
And, I mean, you're in pretty good shape if 3 guys that have started for you in the last 2 seasons that you went to a Super Bowl are now your backups.
Exactly.
So I will take that every day. Thank you, Eric. We appreciate that one.
Thank you so much.
Jay Elder, how are you, bud? Chris Jones absolutely looks like a monster. Dana looks insane. Moving people around, this seems to be great. Yeah, I mean, when you can't tell as the offensive lineman or the quarterback who's going to be where, and the only thing they have to not fall into is the trap of running the same stunts over and over again, because then it does give somebody a field. I'm just going to talk for a minute just to keep you from speaking here because I know what you're going to do when you talk about Dana, but I was really encouraged to hear 3 different coaches mention him as a guy that is ascending, and everybody kind of gave me some grief when I said, hey, the backup edges are going to be Dana and Charlton. Well, guess what's going on right now, folks? It's Dana and Charlton. So Okafor is out again, half a second before he got hurt, but Your guy, Dan, is going to play even a bigger role than I thought. How excited are you about? I didn't think that I wanted him to go inside at 265. Yeah. He looks a little bigger to me, though.
You know, he carries it much like Jones does. They're like, a lot of these guys carry their weight differently. They can add weight and take off weight and almost make it look like they didn't do either of them, which is the professional athlete trend, really. They'd be able to do that. But his experience playing on the inside of Michigan, I think, is huge. It's huge for his ability in this defense, especially considering you play against some really big offensive linemen in the Big Ten. Like, that's the bread and butter in the Big Ten and the SEC for the most part. Like, those offensive lines are big dudes, and you play against some big guys. So he was he was a bit smaller at Michigan, and now he's bigger here. He looks incredible. Like, he's going to be a very good all-around defensive lineman. And, you know, being a backup because Chris Jones is a defensive end, it's pretty much it's a pretty good thing to have. Just saying, because I think that Dana could actually be a starter in this defense.
Yeah, you're justified. Yeah, hey, I could start. Chris Jones is in front of me. What do you want?
Yeah, right. I love seeing that the coaches were yelling and praises at him. Like, that just makes me so happy.
I tell you what, I'm a little scared for Taco.
Yeah.
He has not been performing like I expected. I don't know if he's still ailing. He said he's had some soreness in that knee still. Okay. But the guy who has put on some other good weight besides Dana that looks good to me is Damone Harris. And I know he's behind both those guys right now, but he could be somebody that creeps up depending on if somebody stumbles or if they decide to keep 5.
Yeah, I thought it was a little interesting that Kando was in front of both him and Tim Ward on that depth chart. But again, this is not the coaches putting them together. Right. This is It doesn't just try to remember that this isn't anything close to what it actually looks like. It's just someone was here, given these names, put it together and put it out. So just try to remember that. But I do think that Kando has done more than both Harris and Ward to this point, and from what we've seen from the little snippets of practice.
That's my only thing has he just been tweeted about more?
Possible because he's a rookie.
My question. Yeah, I don't know.
I would be willing to bet that Tim Ward's probably looked the best out of the 3.
I'll tell you in a couple of days.
I didn't get to see.
Well, and I'll explain to you guys once again, just real quickly, Joe, I don't have any idea. I understand Michelle was taking them early. I think Gordon took the 3rd reps yesterday. My money's on Gordon to take it, but he'll still be a practice squad.
I was about to say, my money's there won't be a QB3.
Right, yeah. But, you know, he'll be the break glass and emergency guy. And now I lost the train of thought that I was going for. Oh, no, this is why. Because everything to this point has been great. It's been thud. It's been not going to the ground. It's been not real football.
Yeah.
They play the Niners on Saturday, and then what happens Monday morning is they change everything based on the film from games against other teams, and that's when it matters. And that's why I go the last couple of days of camp every year.
I'm so
excited. It's going to be cool. So I'll definitely have a lot of updates for you. That's going to be – I'm not going to do the tweet thing. I cannot keep up with Josh Briscoe or Matt Derrick or Herbie T.O.P. I cannot tweet that fast enough, and if I did, you guys wouldn't be able to understand any of it anyway. So I will just do some little snippets. I might do a couple of little Twitter things. I'll definitely do a couple of videos a day from camp and at night as well. Monday, Tuesday, most of Thursday, I'll probably be there as well. So look for a stream Monday night, but it might be Dan running it. So be prepared. It's going to be ugly. I don't know about the driving. Yo, you'll say, okay, great.
Well, my wife's going to be TDY, so
maybe it won't happen at all then. Maybe my brother will do it then. We'll get him on. He's the guy that's starting the barbecue channel here.
There you go.
I got to get him exposed. Voodoo, if the Chiefs keep 5 safeties, do you think they'll carry one less CB or one less linebacker? The CBs are more valuable, in my opinion.
Yep, exactly. Okay. The cornerbacks, I think they're going to keep 5 and 5. Safeties and corners, just because of the way that Spags has used 3 safeties a lot. And it makes me think they want to keep 5, especially with the way that, had Key not outperformed what they thought he was going to, maybe it's 4. But I think him pushing and playing as well as he has made me think they're going to keep 10 DBs.
I think they will. That's pretty standard for them. They usually slant it a little bit away from the safeties, but I think this year, especially, I just can't get a feel for what's going on with Juan. He's up, he's down. I'm not sure. So I think they're going to need some insurance there. And hey, kudos to Key.
Yeah, right.
I went back and rechecked my notes, and I haven't heard anything about him missing tackles, and that was the number one takeaway for me. The number one negative. I thought he was sneaky creative in more athletic than he showed because of his scheme. It seems that like he's actually improved his athleticism, training or whatnot, and he certainly seems smart enough. So I think we're going to be okay. Got to get caught up here. I'm falling behind you guys. Another 5,000 yards and 50 touchdowns from Mahomes season with the superstar O-line we got. Do you think this can happen? Thank you, DT Casey. Appreciate the support. Do you think he can hit 5 and 50?
I do. I do think he can. The question for me is are they going to run more in the red zone, or are they going to actually run different red zone plays to let him throw touchdowns? I think that's the only way he doesn't get to, 50 touchdowns in the next couple of years. 50 touchdowns might be a little bit more. If you guys remember back when he had 50 touchdowns, the first 4 weeks of the season, he was putting up 4, 5, 7 touchdowns. Like they were stacked because the Chiefs were running a bunch of different stuff with Patrick that the defenses hadn't seen before. As it got towards the end of the season, those slowed down a little bit. So he's going to have more of the games that maybe they drive down quickly and just get a bunch of quick touchdowns. But that one's going to be harder. I think 5,000 is pretty easy.
Okay. It all depends on how they play it. If you see Jody Fortson and Darius Fountain make this roster, they're throwing jump balls.
Yeah.
And I will never compare anyone to this. Yeah, well, yeah, Kemp's been doing great too. But Kemp does that. When Kemp gets pushed to the edge of the roster without making it, he has a tendency to react well.
He's making it.
So, hey, he might. And I'll tell you this. I'll never put any comparison to Tony Gonzalez. If Jody Fortson is on this roster, they'll change his number. I am pretty certain. But I will tell you this. Jody has good leaping ability. Darius Fountain has some of the best leaping ability since Chris Conley. If they're going to do that, the meet me at the crossbar passes that Tony used to love are a possibility. As long as they're not behind the back, I'll live with it. I'm not sure about that rest of that.
We'll see.
Jacob, Clyde and Darwin are similar size. What makes Clyde so much better? Vision, change of direction, acceleration, power. Did I miss anything? Oh, and he catches better.
Manipulation.
Of the defender.
Yeah, he's an incredible mover of linebackers. He can push holes better than a lot of any guy coming out of the class when he was drafted. He was the best at moving linebackers. So everything that he said and adding defender manipulation, he's aces over Darwin. And that's just the facts.
Cole, I don't know if they're going to list him as Chris Jones as a DE or not. They might. We'll just have to see what they do. Mr. Phil, how are you? Who do you think our starting line is going to be? I think it's going to be the guys that you see right now, unless Remmers comes back.
Yeah, I think that's exactly how they're doing it. But I think that this is really good for Niang. It's given him a lot of experience and practice, and by all accounts, he's done pretty well holding himself and giving a good fight. So I like to see that.
Yeah, like this, honestly, this is a pretty good scenario for developing the young tackle. I like it.
I really do.
Ross, a little worried about the OT position, getting beat a lot. Don't worry about it. It's okay. It's Chris Jones and Frank Clark. I mean, you can be pissed off all you want for Frank. By the way, are you picking up on this theme of guys gaining weight that looks good on them? Frank's another one, right? You can be frustrated with his performance, but he's still a knowledgeable, technically sound guy that Orlando is coming into a different offense. Orlando is picking it up. Both tackles that are out there right now are still on the rise, getting into the system. These are quality pass rushers they're facing, you guys. They're not getting beat by scrubs.
I think that a lot of people are looking at the Tim Ward one from Brown getting kind of just wrecked a little bit around the edge. I'm not going to say I told you so a little bit, but I am a little bit.
I'm not going to.
Brown is a little it's not unathletic, but he's not as athletic as typical Andy Reid tackles. It's showing. It's a different system. It's just going to take time. He's not used to pass setting this much. He's not used to getting as much depth as he has to get. It's all different, especially because you have to pass set differently for Mahomes than you do Jackson. Completely different. Mahomes wants to get back there.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right. And what I notice in the reps when he's getting beat sometimes, especially the last 2 days, what I've seen is him getting beaten off the initial set. Like you said, he's not used to getting the depth.
Yeah,
but he pivoted. He had a rep today that I saw somebody tweet out, and he pivoted his hips 3 times in keeping the guy off of the quarterback.
Yeah.
His recovery athleticism is there. It's still foreign to him having to do that 45 or even some vertical sets. I don't think they're going to do as much vertical setting, which I think Mitch Schwartz said last year was like only like 20-25%.
Yeah, that's because I was like, for some reason, I thought that they were just doing more 45s. Like, that's what I thought that they typically do. But, but apparently they do a ton of verticals.
Over the years, from what I remember, I remember it being mostly 45s, but there's a thin line between what that angle is in terminology and what
And I asked him, like, this looks like a 45. And he's, well, it's, it's technically a vertical. I'm like, come on. Let's just call it what it is. You're getting at a 35-degree angle. Just call it a 45. Don't call it a vertical. You're not coming directly back. Cut this nonsense.
Gary, I'm coming around to it. What I see from Trey Smith, and even in the last, week, since they put the pads on, I have seen him adapt. And he looks more athletic to me than what I saw in film. He still has some balance issues from time to time. I know Dan pointed that out last week. And we have something coming. We might as well tell you about it now. I was going to wait till later in the show. Dan's got the evolution of his evaluation coming for you guys tomorrow. Do not miss this.
It's going to be awesome. I know that a lot of people disagreed with the way I evaluated his tape in college. So I decided to really get into doing some investigation on what he went through in the offseason, what he did after he got out of college, who he was working with, what he was doing specifically to get ready for the draft, his pro day, everything like that. And now what he's gone through from that point to here. So everything that I've found out that I've used to change how I see who he is now versus who he was when I evaluated his tape. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I really hope you guys enjoy it. And this gives you a little sneak peek behind what I have to do with my process and how you have to be willing to adapt your process and how you view players based on what happens. So it should be a lot of fun.
Self-evaluation happens for evaluators too, you guys. I've been doing this, 20 plus years. I'm still learning things that I have biases built into my game. It's just the way that it is. But it is a good process. And I will say this, Nick Bolton confirmed what I thought the other day is that he has seen Trey get lighter, get more athletic, get, again, back to good weight. He's losing weight rather than gaining it. Derek Nottie is losing weight. They both look like they are getting back to solid weight, and I think that's going to help them overall. Yeah. We'll see where it goes from here. But I think health and weight control is kind of a big theme in this camp.
Mm-hmm.
Seth, Patrick played for 20 years. Then we'll be a quarter way through the Mahomes era after this season. Crazy. Oof. Yeah, you're absolutely right. If he has that long season, right? Got to get after it. And I think they're doing everything that they can. Any one of the current backups trade bait. We've been speculating about Wylie. There could be one of the edges, possibly if somebody shows something in the preseason. Could there be if Darwin blows up in the preseason, I'd try to ship him out.
So that's an interesting topic because right now Darrell Williams is dealing with a little bit of a knee injury. If he can't go on Saturday, maybe this gives them opportunity to showcase what Darwin can do, and maybe you can get some trade value for him.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I think Darrell's going to be okay. It doesn't seem like it's serious, but it's just another nagging thing. To go right into that, Voodoo was asking, between Taco not doing particularly well, Frank, and Okafor being hurt again, we could be concerned. But you have Dana, they like Kando, and there's Ward still. I think there's enough options. Yeah. If somebody big gets cut, they might try to squeeze it. I still expect the Tyrann Mathieu deal to get done before the season. I quite frankly am surprised they let it go this long because I think Jamal Adams is going to get paid, and I want to beat that contract if I'm Brett Veach, but I don't know what other factors I don't know about.
Maybe this isn't about Veach, though. Maybe this is about the agent trying to wait for that.
Could be. Could absolutely be. Susan, welcome to the membership. I hope that you enjoy this. I'll check which level you are later, and if so, all I need you to do for that is send me an email at rgrpodcast@gmail.com. And for anybody who jumps up to the starter level, just do that. Email me at that address, and then I'll get you your invite for Discord. It's a fun community, and they talk a lot of football. I got to tell you.
A lot. A lot.
and we're all in there from time to time. Stevie Gooch, Aaron run the bulk of it. Dan and I are in there at times. So is everybody on the staff. Jeff Porter's in there. So that's just the way that it comes down. Let's see. Ben, Thank you for before. I'm glad I got a question from you. O-line depth with LDT, Wylie, and Durant. I don't know if Durant's really going to make it, but LDT, Wylie, and Blythe, yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
I'm questioning Durant right now. I need to see him next week.
I don't know, man. It's going to be interesting. Like I said, they have a lot of guys kind of as backups, and you have a lot of injuries too. I think Long will be fine, but again, can you count on him to be healthy all season? They have a very interesting backup problem, in my opinion. It's kind of a problem.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Steven, a trade for a guy like CJ Henderson in particular, those are apples and oranges. It would definitely involve a draft pick. I don't think they would let Henderson go for anything less than something that is future specific. Julian, you're back. Cool. I think the Chiefs should adapt to the run game to specific situations, like the guard tackle trap or counter and the trap. Here's the thing, guys. I've been screaming about this for, I don't know, 20 years. Nobody in the NFL runs counter enough. I don't care like how you're blocking. You can run counter out of zone. It doesn't matter. Run the damn counter action. It works.
Yep.
But outside red zone and more power in the red zone. I am completely with you, Julian, and I hope they are too.
They're going to. I can promise you right now they will.
That's my gut too. Like the only reason they won't is if Andy hears this and just wants to make me cry all season. Other than that, he's going to run more, and they're going to run more power.
Yeah. This offensive line was constructed for this. It was meticulously put together so they could do more things, more versatility with the run game to not put so much pressure on just dropping back.
Yep.
They did it on purpose.
There's only one position that is not noticeably better at the power gap run scheme, and that is the right tackle position. Remmers is okay. Niang comes from a spread. That's difficult. Everybody else goes downhill better, pulls better in tight spaces. When I say pull, I'm not talking about screens because there's a reason when you see that it's Creed and Tooney that are out there.
Exactly.
I mean, just that one where like Trey kind of stood still and like Creed drifted around and in front of him just because the only two guys with foot speed that have that athleticism are Creed and Tooney. It is what it is.
I mean, Smith looks really good in his pulls right now. So, I mean, it's
in
coming
the
together
for
him.
Right? Yeah, exactly. Aaron, thank you for reminding me of this. And Susan, since you joined earlier, there is a ladies-specific chat room in the Discord as well. So you will get invited to that, I am sure. Kevin, big surprises from the depth chart released today. Nothing surprises me other than how inaccurate it is. You guys, this is put out by the PR department. They do not talk to the coaching staff before they do it. This is them reading the number of snaps. That's it. So I put next to zero stock in it. Let's see. Do you think LDT gets traded to the Colts? I mean, they're one of the teams that I would think like can recognize his worth and might come calling, but he plays on the right. Quentin Nelson plays on the left, and they know they have to replace him, but that's not a 1-for-1 by any stretch of the imagination.
I'm willing to bet Quentin Nelson is ready by week 2.
You think so?
I'm willing to bet a lot of money that he's ready by week 2.
Because I saw the same 8 to 12 week prognosis in a 300-pounder. That's tough to overcome.
5 to 12.
Yeah, and then they revise it evidently. That's my concern. So
interesting.
It's one thing if it's a 190-pound quarterback. If it's a 320-pound lineman, it makes me a little bit more nervous. But yeah, somebody explain to me how. I don't know what that means. I should not have clicked on that. Who starts in the secondary, CB and safety, game 1? I think Thornhill is comfortable again. So I'm going to say it's him, Matthew, Snead, Fenton, and Ward.
Yeah. I think that what we're seeing right now is just them getting him ready. I don't think where he's playing with the twos or whatever you want to call it is an indication or an indictment on him. He looks good. I saw a little bit of him running on Sunday. He looks very good. Doesn't look hesitant. He looks like he's gliding again, which is great to see. So I expect him to be the starting deep safety in week 1.
Yeah. And especially with the addition of Key and they have Will Parks back there.
Yeah.
Don't be surprised if they shift a little bit and they're in dime more than they are in nickel the first couple of weeks, because they have to be very reticent of the fact that you can like Baker Mayfield all you want. They're going to come in and they're going to run the ball with Nick Chubb, and then they're going to dump it to Kareem and try to get mismatches. So, like, Dan's going to be on the field a lot.
Yes, he will.
Thank you, Aaron. Yeah, if you guys check out the store, we got some new designs in there. There's a soft cast on it. I don't know if it's technically a brace or a cast. I don't have the specifics of it. Andy didn't give them yesterday, and I didn't see his presser yet today. So.
Big shock there.
Yeah, right. Voodoo, Saunders and Wharton in the DT room, especially loaded with Saunders, looking good, and Reid being Reid. Yeah, I mean, you guys, I said it a few weeks ago. The addition of Jaron Reid is like, it's the X factor that raises the floor on this defense.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, does he make you an elite defense? No, but he makes you not shabby. You know?
Yeah, I think that they have I'm not going to say they have the best front four if all goes well, but they've got a top tier front four right now. And Saunders improving in camp and showing that he's probably a bit quicker than he was last year, and he's been better overall. That's huge for not only him being on the roster going forward, but it's huge for the depth and what they want to do and keep everyone fresh. So it's awesome to see him actually doing well.
Good Lord, I'm 20 minutes behind from the timestamps on these. Kevin, I did answer this question before, so ask me another one. I'm going to skip ahead and try to find some things that are different topics, you guys.
I'm sorry, guys. I'll try to go quicker, too. Ugh.
Oh, man. What's the Rogue Spears going to do to hit the preseason regular season? I don't know what we're going to do, Scott. We'll come up with something. Favorite Chiefs defensive coordinator of all time? Gunther Cunningham and Derek Thomas. Easy.
Yeah, not close.
Yeah, that's not even a discussion for me.
No.
I would.
Spags will get up there for me though. He's getting up there just
coming on.
I love the way that he just says, "I don't care. I'm going to blitz you. I don't care."
Looks like we got another one from Ben. Thank you, Ben.
Thank you, Ben.
I missed it though, so I'm just going to have Fortune as a spirit animal. So I'm trying to find your comments because I'm falling behind here. Chris Anderson, do you think our tackles will handle Bosa and Vaughn? It's going to be a challenge. I mean,
yeah.
Pick another two of the best pass rushers in the league. Pick two of the top 10 guys, and it's going to be a challenge. I think the Denver games are late, so let's see if Vaughn survives the season. He's had a couple of injuries the last couple of years, and B, I think that allows, especially Niang, to grow into it. I'm not worried about Orlando, and I agree with him. Jake, thank you for the super chat. If the Chiefs don't extend Tyrann Mathieu, do you think that they try to trade him? Is the current secondary good enough to cover the playoffs without Ty based on what you see? No, they are not. No, they will not trade him. If they can't get to an agreement on the extension, they will franchise him because they need him. Spags wants him. He is an extension of Steve Spagnuolo's body at this point.
And it's not close. Like what he does, I have talked about this before. I got the idea from Nate Tice. He should be the green dot on this defense. He knows where everybody needs to be, and he's the reason that everyone is, for the most part, where they have to be. As much as Hitchens lines people up, Mathieu knows where the ball's going. Like, he knows.
Yeah. I will tell you this, and I know, Chris, you didn't ask specifically about this, but I'll tell you, maybe the best matchup, well, best because Orlando will win it because he has in the past, but I think maybe the most like slugfest matchup is going to be Myles Garrett in Orlando because they played each other a lot over the last couple of seasons. I think that's going to be interesting. I'm not as high on Myles Garrett as everybody else is. I don't find him dynamic enough. I think a lot of his plays come from sheer determination, but I don't see athletic prowess there. I'm more scared of Von Miller taking over a game than Garrett.
No, I'm sorry. Von's doesn't even have it much anymore. Like I'm more worried about Bradley Chubb right now than I am about Von Miller.
Are you? Wow. Okay. That's interesting.
Like Von's still good, but I think that Chubb is now better than he is.
Oof, I can't see that. We're gonna go round and around on that all season long. He's ready to see Noah and Cornell in the preseason. I am too. This is the thing. Noah's had all the hype. Yep. Cornell's been working underneath. They have good games. This could easily flip here in a day or two.
And I think we're gonna see exactly in the preseason game who actually runs better routes and who gets open. Like, I think that Cornell's doing a good job of just getting in his reps. If you watch him play, he snags the ball. Like he is a 100% hands catcher, something that this team desperately needs. And I think that he's going to show out in the preseason. I'm hoping to see him probably the second game get his best work in.
Yeah, I'm thinking so too. Andy said that he's going to follow his general plan.
Yeah, I was shocked.
I am too. So that means generally, folks, Andy plays starters a half in game 3. And it's game 4s where the guys on the bottom end are fighting. And don't get me wrong, Cornell Powell's going to make the roster, but he is fighting for a role other than just having to play special teams. Pringle had a pretty good day yesterday. DeMarcus evidently is doing all right. We'll see what happens, but I don't know.
Kemp's blowing it up.
Yeah, right. Phil, I'm not sure what happened the other day. He was out there today. He's fine. Every now and then, I mean, at 31 years old, he needs to take a little time off, so I'm not too worried about it. Yes, hey, shares always help us too. Get the word out. It's amazing to me how many people in Chiefs Kingdom have never heard of this. So if you guys would share it, if you dig it enough to be here, I'd appreciate it if you guys would dig it enough to share it with your friends. And that goes with Locked On as well. And then there's Cole. I'll get to you in a second, Isaac. I feel like Darwin is either going to be cut and signed by Green Bay, of all places, or traded there to reunite with his college quarterback. I don't think GMs give a crap who you played with in college. So unless like Love is their guy and he's not with Aaron back, I don't think. I mean, they might just be in the market for another tailback. I don't know.
I mean, I think they might need to be because you got 2. Then that's like it. Outside of Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon, they don't necessarily have much back there. So you never know.
I will trade Darwin Thompson for AJ Dillon tomorrow.
They're not going to do that.
I'll even throw in a guard for you. AJ Dillon's incredible. He's an incredible athlete with a lot of bulk that can run straight downhill. God, I love that. Anyway, interesting question. Dan and I actually disagreed about this the other day, Isaac, on James Washington wanting a trade out of there. I think for a low end draft pick, I wouldn't be scared of it. But Dan, you don't think it's worth the time, right?
I just, for a guy who is basically just a deep threat, I see literally no ability to do anything that the Chiefs actually need in this offense, like slants and running over routes. I don't think he can get open on any of them. And they have McCole Hardman and Tyreek Hill who take the top off. You don't need another guy who can only really do that. That's so, I mean, okay. He's just, I don't know. I'm not a fan of James Washington.
I liked his game in college. I thought he's good catching in contact with the defender. Again, like you said, he's not running away from people.
Yeah.
Honestly, he's like the precursor to Powell, in my opinion. Like he is about the post up, not a guy that's loose by 5 yards, but doesn't matter to me. Sam, sorry. How many quarterbacks? Did I jump that? How many quarterback sneaks? Yeah, you're right, DT. 0 would be the correct number. That gonna happen. How much chance does Chris have to playing multiple positions and having his best training camp to win Defensive Player of the Year? Samuel, that's a good question. And I don't think it's the position that matters. It's about the output. Mm-hmm. And I heard one person whose eye I trust texted me today and said that they saw Chris Jones bend the edge today as though he's been playing end his whole career. And that shocked me. If he does that, look out, Myles Garrett. There's a new sack king in town.
I think he might end up being an all-pro at two positions. He might. I mean, I'm not ready to say he's going to be a top 5 defensive end of the NFL. I think he's going to play too much defensive tackle too to really say that he was, one of the top 5 in the NFL at that position. But I think he's going to have a ton of production. And if he does end up, like you said, being the guy who can actually bend, like he's said he's always wanted to play defensive end. He came out wanting to play defensive end. He's getting a chance now. Maybe he doesn't turn back. Maybe they just keep Reid and they just go defensive end, 3-tech, and just say, okay, here you go.
Sick 'em. I'm down for that. Yeah. I mean, hey.
Whatever happens.
I don't know. It could be really impressive. Gary, the thing that Patrick has to improve on is not always going for it. I think you're going to see more defenses emulate what the Bucs did and bait him deep and try to get their pass rush home. I don't think that's going to be very successful against this line, but you never know. They're going to have to stunt more, and if that does start coming through on the younger players, that could be something, whatever. He's got to just take the checkdowns. He's got to be a little bit more of Alex Smith, to tell you the truth. If that pressure's in his face, he's got to not hold it to the point where he's literally getting hit every play.
Yeah, it's the adaptation of the game plan. He's always wanted to air the ball out, but now as an RPO an offense that has RPOs and has those checkdowns still built into them. It's about seeing, I can maybe fit this ball downfield. Should I? Probably not. Or I see a friendly run look. Do I want to pull it and throw that RPO anyway? No, he's going to learn. He's learning to take these steps and say, I see a friendly run lane. I think that Clyde can get 10 yards here. I'm going to hand it off. Like, that's what he's got to start doing.
And a lot of that, honestly, is going to be pre-snap, Gary. So it's about identifying and deciding not to go for it and take the cheap, easy yards. Should Spags blitz Wylie more? Yes.
He's going to.
Yes.
I 100% believe a guy that explosive, you're going to see him lined up like on the end of the line. Coming.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And it's going to be interesting. Michael, surprise stock risers so far in camp. I don't think Bo Peep Keys is rising myself.
He's had a couple of good days lately, and I think that video of him locking down Hardman on an obvious curl because he never threatened deep once gives people a little bit more than that. Exactly. Someone put that up there. I was like, you do realize that this is the thing that he struggled with the most. He not once threatens deep. He doesn't explode off the line. He doesn't do anything. He's slowly getting into his curl. Like, that's all he's doing. So Keys just waited. He knew he was coming.
Yeah. Well, and good for him for recognizing. But that doesn't mean, I mean, take away the best thing that McColl does. Yeah, I mean, hey. I would call Neiman a bounce back, though, and I am glad to see that. So good for him. Kemp does not surprise me. I will never count that guy out because he responds.
To an extent, though, I think that I've heard more that he's improved, not just because he's on the bubble, but like he's improved offensively as a player, which is something that we've seen. But then injury, and then not getting the roster with the wide receiver depth they had. I think, and I want to see them use him more. Like, if he makes this roster, I want to see him on the field a few times.
Yeah, don't hold your breath.
I'm going to. I'm going to.
Miss Holly, thank you very much. You're creeping me out with this.
Oh my gosh,
this
what is
Tommy
this?
avatar, though. Good Lord. It's Trevor's cousin. Anyone surprised that Blake Bell is TE2 over Noah Gray? He's not. Again, that's just PR putting that there. That is not, in terms of the snap count you're going to see, Noah Gray's going to be all over this offense. Yeah. Every coach has mentioned him. Even Andy Heck mentioned him, as I understand it. I didn't see that one, but every coach is mentioning Noah Gray. That means something. So no, don't worry about that. And thank you for the support, Miss Holly. As
thank
always,
you so much. Even though you have that creepy picture.
Yeah, right. It threw me at first too. I was like, did somebody steal Holly's username?
Right.
Dang. But guys, for all of you Discord members, all the members that are in there, there is a section called Continuing the Stream. Jump in there after tonight and at least give Holly some static about that picture.
Right.
Come on.
Talk it up. Let's talk it up.
Thoughts on Devin Key? Pro comparison. Does he have the speed to play deep, Steven? Great questions. I'm going to let Dan take this one while I scroll for the next one.
I've told you guys multiple times, I don't really do pro comps. I still haven't seen his college tape myself, but I think that he has the speed to play deep if they want him to. I don't think that he doesn't have Thornhill's speed, but you don't need his speed to play that deep. I think the instincts and the anticipation that comes with what I know of Key's play is more of what would lend him to be able to play deep, not necessarily that he has to have that 4.3 speed or whatever it is. So I do think that he can play deep, and the way that they like to use him seems like he could move all over.
Yeah, I think you're right. Holly, I can't fix it now. I'll fix it afterwards. Yes, I misspelled of. It's not faux. It's not the faux of the 49ers. But
why
yeah,
not?
I mean, because I just can't spell because I got in a hurry and that's the way things happen. Jeremy, is Frank turning his legal issues into career highs? Possibly. Let's hope a motivated Frank is a good thing.
He looks motivated just from what he's done to his body. I'll tell you that much.
I only play Dynasty or super long keeper league, so I'll let Dan answer. Is Jerick McKinnon a good fantasy sleeper?
No.
Okay.
I mean, are we talking he's not worth a stash in your redraft league because he's not going to get enough volume unless injuries happen. So that's all I'll say on that. But if we're talking like Dynasty League, yeah, he's fine to have on your roster. He's probably going to get a few games here and there. There'll be one game that he comes out and actually like puts up 20 points just because that always seems to happen with an Andy Reid running back. So I think that he's worth a stash in fantasy leagues that are deeper and in Dynasty. But as like a redraft, I'm not drafting him.
Fair enough. Jeff, will the Chiefs press some early because of losing the Super Bowl? I don't think because of losing the Super Bowl. I think they're going to run the ball a little bit. And honestly, when they get up and they kind of slow it down and they run more, I think the run's going to be more effective.
Yeah.
So I think they're actually going to score more points. But
it should be fun.
This should be fun. Did I just hear that Chubb is better than Vaughn? Is this an imposter also? No hat. Yep, it can't be Dan. Hi, Dan.
See, you can see it right here. There's the hat. Hi, Gooch. And when your best thing you're doing is sitting on the bench because you're injured, I mean, yeah.
Oh, I can't wait.
I hope he proves me wrong, though, but I don't see it happening.
Someday we're going to have a 10-round go-around on Jerry Rice. That's what we're going to do. It's going to be beautiful. Steve, after Honey Badger contract, if we brought in Howard from Miami, how hard would it be for him to catch on with the defensive scheme? Howard's a smart player.
Howard just signed with. He just renegotiated his contract with Miami. He's staying in Miami.
Oh, they did today? I didn't even see that. Okay, so never mind. That one's over, Steve. Not going to happen. No, I would have liked it too.
Yeah, it would have been nice.
Julian, the Chiefs can control time possession and previously mentioned running schemes, misdirection, and play action from under center, just incorporated into the game plan. Thoughts? Yeah, absolutely. It's that Andy fights his tendencies to do that. It's not because it isn't functional, especially with this line. I think he might get a little giddy once he gets running downhill on some people. So let's hope that he emphasizes or chooses to emphasize it. I think it all comes down to the play sheet on game day, and that's where it gets away from him.
Yeah, I still think that they're going to try to take advantage of deep shots whenever they can, and just kind of work with deep shots, run the ball a little bit more. Just I think it's all going to be based on the look. Like Patrick's going to have more freedom to change things as the defense presents whatever it is. So as they start to run more in the beginning of the year and show teams that they can do this religiously and just continuously run the ball, that's going to open up everything and let Mahomes just be a quarterback that now can change plays and given that freedom to do so.
Yeah.
At least I hope so, Andy.
Good question, Julian. Steve, move Darwin Thompson to wide receiver. No. No.
No, thanks.
No. It's not a talent for him, and quite frankly, he does not have the acceleration. Thank you for the super chat, Gooch. I forgot to say that. Do we still have a Legion of Zoom with Sammy leaving? I mean, it's Zoom-ish. It's not as fast as it used to be. DeMarcus, even Byron Pringle are noticeably not as much of a speed demon as Sammy was.
Yeah. It's not really the Legion of Zoom anymore. You can have two guys, but that's not a Legion. That's a duo.
Mark, I'm still on the fence. I still have him on the practice squad at this point.
Yeah, I think he'll be the fifth safety. That's what I think.
Think they're moving him to safety?
Oh, Keys. I thought they meant Key. No. Bo Peep Keys will not make the roster, no.
Okay, yeah. I do think he makes the practice squad, though, and I think that buys him time to improve.
Yeah.
Let's see. Mark's got another one. What's the number one thing you want to see the Chiefs on Saturday? I want 0 injuries. That's all I care about.
Literally, I don't care about anything else except for, Cornell Powell having 100 yards. That's all.
Voodoo, you have an interesting one here. Could Snead win the Defensive Player of the Year based on everything he can do with a variety of roles and all the accumulative stats like sacks, PBUs, and interceptions? You hit it on the head. He's got all the skills, and he said today his goal is to play 100% of the snaps.
Yeah.
He does that from 2 positions, maybe 3 if they get a little crafty and give him some safety reps because they did that last year. I mean, he's got all the skill in the world. I'm not going to put that on him, but I won't say he can't do it either.
It's within his realm of finishes. I'll say that. I think that it's a possibility.
Phil, you're killing me. Kelsey or Gonzalez? Pick your poison. They're errors for a reason. I will not pick one. I will say, yes, I'll take them as my tandem.
I'm going to take Travis Kelsey.
Okay.
And that's just because the way the football is going. But if we're talking like just standalone tight end for tight end, I think Tony is a better all around tight end.
Absolutely.
That's what I will say.
Absolutely. Ian, who will be more productive, Hardman or Powell plus Robinson? That's a very good question.
That's an interesting one. I'm going to say Hardman.
Very good question. It's going to be right on the edge. Now, McCole stood up today and said that his goal is not just to run better routes, which he knows he has to do, but he wants to be the guy that doesn't have to come off the field.
Yeah.
That's a complete departure. That means that he understands he has to win in press. He's had some good snaps against backup DBs coming out of the press. Okay. But that means he's got to know it all cold to be where he's supposed to be every single snap. I'm not sure. If he does that, I'll be very, very impressed.
Yeah, and that's, like you said, exactly what we talked about today. And I've seen clips from last season that I can't access yet of him doing well on the outside. So he knows now if he wants to be the wide receiver 2 with Hill on the outside and him on the outside, he has to work his hands. He mentioned it specifically today. If you don't work your hands, guess what? You ain't going anywhere. You're not going anywhere. They're just going to body you up at the line of scrimmage. So he knows he has to. Now it's all about getting it done. Can he do it? Yeah. I think he can. Got to see it.
Yeah. Paddock, welcome back. Jaron Reid is helping boost the performance of the rest of the defensive front. Fitting in, I would say, is he's becoming a leader in that group already from what I'm hearing. Yeah.
Love it.
I mean, you thought Frank had some edge. Jaron doesn't even want to talk to the press. He's like, go away. I'm just here to destroy offensive lines. Behind Mahomes, what QB round of the top 5 in the league, in your opinion? Oof, man. Go ahead, Dan.
All right, so if Josh Allen continues to play at the level we saw last year, I'll have him there. Aaron Rodgers. You still have Tom Brady. Then the last guy, because of the way it's difficult to plan against him, I would have
what I think you're saying.
You know, the 5th one's difficult. I would say Lamar just because of the way you have to game plan against him, not just necessarily because he's an extremely great passer. But
you button on this thing. There will be no Russ Wilson disparagement on this podcast.
Okay, so Russell Wilson is great. He's
better.
Great.
You're warming up. Let's go. Come on. Keep it coming.
But you want to know his biggest problem? His team.
It wasn't asked what the best team was. It was who's the best quarterbacks.
Yeah, I know. I couldn't think of Russell Wilson's name.
Okay, fair enough. This is an interesting one. I think more jump balls could be in it. Again, depending on who they keep there, Taro. Dan, do you disagree with that?
I would love for them to do it, but Annie doesn't care. So I said it on the things I want to see video, and I'm done with that. So
dang, what are you doing, Stevie? Midwest Kansas.
Where you at?
I know you moved. I didn't think you were going there. You're gonna have to fill me in. I'm completely lost, you guys. I'm so upside down on back to school and all this stuff. Elon has not gotten me Starlink internet. Otherwise, you guys would be seeing this in something that looked even worse than it already does. So like, there's a lot going on. I'm sorry, I'm a little out of it. Thank you, Stevie. So y'all already talked about Kaiser. No, didn't really talk about Kaiser. Kind of forgot about him.
No, I mentioned it, the retirement with Witzman.
Oh, you did? I totally missed that. I wasn't listening to you. I'm sorry.
Thanks.
I'm here for you. But yeah, I mean, it's great. And the question is, I think there's a possibility where they just flip-flop the third tight end all season long between Fortson and Bell, depending on matchup.
Yeah. I hope. I want to see them just be like, look, Bell, we know that you're a good blocker, but we want to throw the ball. And we're just going to put 2 guys who can do that. Go get it. So,
Jerry, interesting question. Should the Chiefs organization hire a group of masseuses to get the guys loose before hitting the field for practice and OTAs and mitigate injuries? They have 2 that I know of, and I believe a couple of the trainers are also certified masseuses as well. There's a lot of soft tissue work that goes on in that organization, from my understanding. So that is part of the program. But you get guys fired and things happen. Eric, if they keep Bell, any chance we see Belldozer package for goal line short yardage? I don't know.
I mean, maybe, but I think that I would just use an extra offensive lineman.
I would too.
Or bring Burton in and let him go.
I mean, let's just leave no question. Just put the lineman in, put Burton in too.
And
take Patrick off the field, run Wildcat with Darryl, and we're done.
I'm sorry, guys. I forgot. Deshaun Watson is probably the second best quarterback in the NFL when healthy. So he should probably be up there.
He's pushing it. The question is if is he going to be eligible?
That's the thing. We're not talking about that. We're talking about quarterback play. And he's probably, I would say, the second best quarterback in the NFL.
Is Chris Jones a cyborg? Maybe.
No, that's Tom Brady. You guys saw that picture of him already floating around Twitter? That dude's a cyborg.
Oh, I missed something.
Oh, you should see it. Tony Dungy. Him and Tony Dungy. You should look that picture up. It is creepy.
Okay.
I tweeted it out, actually.
You're really not selling it as something I want to see. So
you don't want to. It's like the beginning of a Purge movie.
Oh, dang. I think I lost my light. Hold on.
Hello, Holly. I can't resist creeping Ryan and Dan out with Tommy Thompson. So it's not so much like it's creepy. It's just like, 1, I didn't expect it. And 2, it's like a black and white picture of Tommy Townsend. Like you're trying to, I assume he's a crush. Like this is what that kind of picture says to me. So
I thought Fabio when I first saw it.
It looks like a Fabio picture.
Yeah, it is what it is. Okay, we're going to wrap it up here in a couple of minutes, you guys. We're actually doing all right. I'm almost caught up.
There we go.
At least with the super chats, trying to get the other questions. Again, if you have a question still, hit the question marks at the beginning of your question like Jimmy did. Can I get a preseason surprise cut from each of you? Oof, a surprise one. That's good. If you got to go,
man, cut. I really don't. Like I don't have a surprise for you. I think it's pretty cut and dry, to be really honest with you guys. I don't have. So, okay, I got one. If it continues to be bad for Taco Charlton, look out. He could get cut.
Where I was going. Taco got to turn it on, man. Like I put all this faith in him.
I did too. Like I thought he was going to be a really good pass rush kind of guy. But again, if it's this bad and you got guys like Kando and Ward that actually, even Harris, that are doing more.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I'm not sure what's going on.
Yeah.
But it's funny that we went to the same spot. Steve, I think we're both pleasantly surprised with Trey that he's made progress, and Dan's going to run it all down for you tomorrow. Don't miss tomorrow night's video.
It's going to be awesome. Complete rundown.
Mick the dog, Browns fan, welcome into the stream. Say hi to Quentin for me. You're absolutely right. You're going to find out right off the bat. And you guys have a lot of interesting DBs. A couple of guys that I actually coveted are in Cleveland. I like that. I'm probably Nick Chubb's number 1 fan.
And number 2 fan.
Right. So, like, it is a scary proposition to try to stop that run game. I would trade all the backups the Chiefs have for Joel Bitonio right now and make that line complete.
Dude. Yeah. I love that offensive line. That offensive line's incredible. And people just, they don't understand. The only problem that's going to happen is if it turns into a shootout. I'm not sure Baker can keep up yet. I'm hoping Odell comes back healthy. I want to see a prime Odell. He's great. I want to see him get there. And I can't wait to see Donovan Peoples-Jones. I'm not going to lie. I love the man. I think he's going to be their 3rd wide receiver out the gate. I'm excited to see week 1 against the Browns.
Yeah, I'm with you. Rock on. Welcome, Mick. Have a good season.
Welcome. Thank you.
Varian. I'll tell you this. In today's soft hands spread offense, BSO line play, Derek Thomas would have a 30-sack season. He would destroy this league.
He would eat people alive. You know how Reid swallowed up
right
CEH today? He'd be doing that to everybody.
Good Lord. I mean, it would be, he would get arrested for assault is what he would do.
In this league, yeah.
Him, and you know what? We'll just put Lawrence Taylor on the other side.
Yeah, why not?
Get the two old guys out there. Oh,
60
yeah.
sacks.
It would be awesome. Aaron, who will be more productive, Pringle or Robinson? Just straight up.
Pringle.
I want to say that. I just don't understand why he's not running with the ones. And if they don't give him the chance, he won't.
We'll see.
Okay, I'm going to leave it like this. I want it to be Pringle.
I'm going to say it will be Pringle. So,
okay, I like the way you're thinking.
Into existence.
Terrell, I'm not with you on that one. I like Josh. I think he's had a slower path to grow into his feel for the game, but I think it's coming on. I think he, Herbert, and Mahomes are going to be the three big ones in 3 seasons from now, in the post Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers era.
Just do a little research on what Josh Allen has done coming into last year to get ready. You know, the guy is an incredibly hard worker. They've really done a lot to get him ready, and he took that step last year. I'm hoping he keeps going because he's an incredible talent.
Trey, does McCole have hops like Tyreek? No, I don't have his vertical in front of me, but it's definitely not in the same stratosphere.
Tyreek's a freak, guys.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you the more concerning thing, though, is that I think the bigger disparity between the two of them is the change of direction.
It's not even close. I was literally talking about it a little while ago.
Oh.
That's why Hardman can't really do a lot of the short area stuff after the catch that Tyreek does. He doesn't have that wiggle. He doesn't.
He's not running pivot routes. He's not running those short drags. Yeah.
He's a one cut. He's like a one cut back almost when he gets the ball.
Yeah. I mean, if they can get him consistently running those overs, that's going to change it for him. That's the thing that he has the acceleration to do and a little bit of route running.
No.
But yeah, he's not going to be no little like dink and dunk, like get loose just because you put your foot in the ground.
Yeah.
Oh, I wish he was. What will be the thing Reid makes the feature of the offense that defenses go back to school on and offenses try to replicate? I don't want to give it away.
Yeah, I don't either. I mean, I don't think I'm sorry, Travis. I don't think I'm going to answer this question.
Travis, make sure you're here after week 2 because I think that's when you're going to see it the most. It is volcano. I was going to say the same thing.
Yes. Are you watching the volcano?
It is going to be a little pass wrinkle, I think, Travis. I'll tell you that. But yeah. All right. I'll just say it.
Don't do it.
Oh, fine. All right, Travis. Week 2, we're gonna talk all about it. After week 2, we're gonna talk all about it because I think it will be plainly evident by then. Okay, so Stevie's hanging around. Okay, great bet.
Okay,
rock and roll. Preacher, how about 3 tight ends plus Hill for a set? I can get down with that. Here's the cool part. You can still throw out of that.
And you can split out if it's Gray and it's Fortson. You can split out. Guess what? If they keep 3 tight ends, those 3 tight ends, I guarantee you will see that this season. I guarantee it.
I will keep my fingers crossed. And Santa, I literally just did a podcast segment about this on Locked On. It came out 8 minutes ago. So if you're on like iTunes and that, it's downloadable. The video will be on the YouTube for Locked On Chiefs tomorrow at lunchtime. And I literally said the same thing. And I had Trey Lance the number 2 quarterback in this class. I am a huge Trey Lance guy. Calling him Mahomes 2.0 is like I should cuss on this stream for the first time. It's so stupid. Yeah.
I'll let him have that one.
Okay. You don't even care. You act like
I don't care.
Agree, but you don't care. You're like,
I don't disagree.
It is what it is.
I mean, Lance is really good, but again, no.
Thoughts on Fabio's butter and soft tissue massage and go. Okay. Thanks, Andy.
Thanks, Andy.
You're killing me, Smalls. Will Pringle get more snaps than Robinson? No. But he may produce more.
I'm going to say yes.
Okay. And Hog Farmer, you're exactly right.
He also doesn't hold it out here.
Right. Stop hanging out with Shady. You guys always talk about the DT, but what about Neil Smith? Neil Smith was great too. He just wasn't as dominant as Derek.
No.
Neil Smith without Derek is not the dominant player that Derek was without Neil. That's my thought. And that is not a disservice to Neil. I mean, that's like calling Richard Dent the other guy in the pass rush. You know what I mean? Like it's legit. He is a legit pass rusher.
Yeah.
90 degrees at 7 p.m. Oh, Todd, I'm not ready. I'm so not ready. Like the sky is like all smoke here in Colorado because of the California wildfires. Like that's hard to deal with, but the temperatures are going to get me.
Yeah, it's not fun.
Let's see. Edward, thank you for your super chat. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
How much of a defensive coordinator's job is to analyze the opponent's defenses and help the offensive game plan? None at all.
Yeah, they have people that do that for them.
Yeah, the pro scouting department will take some of those numbers apart. The Chiefs use their analytics. Mike Frazier runs their analytics as well, and I think he does some of that from what I get. But the defensive coordinator is about their job and their game plan and how they're going to attack the offense. You might get a question here or there, but it's not like, hey, help us decide what we're going to run. No, Andy does that. That's his bread and butter.
Yeah, they have quality control coaches that do a lot of this stuff too.
Yeah, I mean that's how you become an entry level coach is you break down all the film and figure out tendencies and tell them, hey, this is what works. And that's why I'm too old to start that job. Aaron, thank you very much. If you are a member in the Discord, starter or above, and you're ready to join the Discord, which is all RGR members, you just email me at this address right here, rgrpodcast@gmail. And then I will get you an invite. That is the way that it goes. It is an elite group of RGR members led by Stevie, Aaron, and Gooch. And it is a fun time. I'm looking for the last of the questions so we can round those up, you guys. Seth, any chance Jay Reid gets a hog package like Poe did? I don't know.
That's a good question.
I don't know that I've ever seen him catch. I mean, I know Chris wants to be a quarterback. Maybe they could do like an all D line kind of package. I would try it. I'd love that. Aaron, you're on my list now. You don't know who Richard Dent is.
He's not. It's not. Is he related to Harvey Dent?
No. Go look up the best defense in the history of the NFL, the 85 Bears, and you'll see who their pass rusher was. Good Lord. I can't believe I have to educate people on this stuff. Mike Singletary was not the only defender on the 85 Bears defense. People forget everyone else. So will Blake Bell be the number 2 tight end? No.
Nope.
If he doesn't start doing something, he might not be the 3rd tight end.
Yeah, that's true.
Thank you, Aaron. I knew you did it on purpose. You were successful. Let's see. Eric B tweeted his frustration during the Super Bowl over Andy Reid. Eric B. Enemy tweeted during the Super Bowl.
I don't think he has a tweet. I don't think he has a Twitter.
Don't think so. Yeah, I'm not sure that I can get down with that one. Hunter, anyone else hold their breath anytime Robinson touches the ball? Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's creepy. Makes
just when he holds it out here if he's got it, I don't like hold my breath until he starts running backwards.
That's again, not a cussing show, family show.
Trying here.
Yeah, right. Preachers, welcome back to the memberships. Glad you made it. Craig, how could you not know? Oh, he was messing around, Craig. He was trying to trigger me.
He did it.
And Aaron, that is a fair assessment. Mike Singletary was one of the best linebackers ever played the game too. Jerry, he's running with the 3s. He got a couple of looks with the 2s and actually made some good plays from what I understand. And Matt told me that last week he actually got a couple of snaps with the 1s.
But so did Garrett Dieter, so we'll just hold off on that.
Yeah. So like it's hard to compare them.
Yeah, it's hard.
Dominic, welcome to the memberships. Glad you made it. Tony Romo and Chad Greenway in the Hall of Fame. Greenway, yes. I don't know.
I think Tony eventually will. Like
he'll
be one of those guys because of his efficiency numbers and things like that. But I don't think he should be in the Hall of Fame. Much like I think Phillip Rivers will get in. I don't think he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame.
I can agree with that on two separate reasons, because Romo doesn't have the yardage, right?
I think he's got. That's the thing. Like, he has more than I thought that he did, from what I remember. Yeah.
Then I probably don't realize that either. Miss Holly with the quote of the day.
There you go, Holly.
Well done. Oh, and Preacher, you just moved up. Well, welcome, sir. Email me and we'll get you in there. What happened to Danilo? Danilo is running his channel, and he's moving multiple states this summer. So he took the summer off. Hopefully he'll be back later in the year once he's settled and kind of back into his routine. I'll let him tell you where he's moving to in case he's trying to keep that secret. I don't want to give away somebody's stuff. So, but yeah, you guys will see him again. Preachers, it doesn't show Ryan upgraded. Okay, yeah, sorry, I'm dumb. Or YouTube is.
That's your fault.
Same thing. Navo, hey, what are the rules of using swapping players from the practice squad to the final roster during the season? That's the interesting thing. Supposedly, we're waiting for the official results on whether it's 53 or 55 guys, and also on the practice squad rules, but they follow last year. They can elevate 2 guys a week, back and forth.
Yeah.
And veterans can go back down to the practice squad in a rotation. And so that's what I was saying. Like, you could see Bell and Fortson be one guy in the practice squad, one guy in the 53, and just swap all the time based on game plan.
Yeah, it should be interesting to see what they do. I hope they get 55. I really do.
Oh, Todd, good point. If Tony Romo is a 20-year broadcaster, he'll make it for that easily.
100%. I think he will. I think he's getting better, which is something I didn't think I would say in his first year. I was very annoyed with Tony Romo, but he's gotten much better.
Yeah, I'm totally with you. I didn't like him as a player. I enjoy him as a broadcaster.
Oh, see, I liked him as a player. I thought he was extremely underrated.
Okay. I just felt bad for his back. Landy have 2 halfbacks as wideouts. Well, that's the thing.
That didn't.
McKinnon and Clyde, you can split them both out.
Yeah.
They've both done that. So yeah, and that is like the ultimate flexibility. You put those guys in, and Dan, you saw some 2-back formations the other day, right?
I did. Yeah, I saw with Daryl in the backfield, and they split Clyde out wide on the snap, or not on the snap, but just before. It was everything I'd hoped to see.
And the cool thing is if you line them up in the backfield and they come out in base defense with 3 linebackers, you split them out, and all of a sudden those linebackers have to try to run.
Yep.
You split them out and you get DBs, you bring them back in, and all of a sudden you can run down their throats. I mean,
it's a beautiful thing.
It's funny because one of the things that I do agree with PFF on the most, that is one of their, they have all their little rant points. But one thing is a lack of motion in modern offenses is a death nail.
Yes.
You have to move it around. That's how you get all the good stuff, which I like good stuff. Dalton Schoen.
I don't think he's on the team anymore.
No, I think he is still actively on the roster. I haven't heard a thing about him making any plays.
No, me either.
Yeah. I don't see a future for him. Maybe as a practice squad, but he's got a lot of guys to fight. I think French is still there. I mean, if Fountain doesn't make the 53, he's going to be there.
Yeah, French made a nice play today, apparently, so that made me happy.
Stu, good evening.
Welcome.
Actually, it's good morning, isn't it? It's pretty late out there, man. Dang. Always cool to watch Mahomes. The guy has huge variety of skies. It's brilliant to watch. I'm glad that you enjoy it, and I am glad to hear from someone in Scotland.
That's awesome.
I am actually, in a couple of years, going to go out and visit my family there that I've never met. So,
wow,
I'm going to make a trip to UK and all around. I think I'm going to see Brad. I think we're going to put it all together.
That's awesome.
If you guys dug the show last night with Brad, when we finally got a video to work, across the Atlantic,
awesome.
I was pumped. We're going to try to do that more if you guys would like to see it. If you would leave comments down here or go over to Brad's channel, that's the Brit Chief, and leave it on whatever his latest video is, and let us know if you guys dug that, because I would like to do it again. Let's see here. We got one more question mark. We'll wrap it up with this one, unless it's terrible, and then I'll have to say something else. Travis, Tier 1, LT and DT, I'm with you. Tier 2, Singletary and Sayout. Yeah, but they're off-ball guys. Tier 3, any other Hall of Fame linebackers. I mean, geez. Yeah. Hundreds of them.
Like, literally hundreds. And I don't know about half of them.
I don't play online anymore, you guys. But the last time I bought Madden, I literally made a team, a defensive all linebackers and a offensive all fullbacks. And that's what I played on Madden, and I crushed people. It was brilliant.
It's ridiculous.
But that's because Madden's not real, okay? So
yeah.
it is what it is. So, hey, I hope that you guys have a great night. Dan, thanks for being here. I know we went over, so even more so for you spending the time.
Of course. We gotta give the people what they want.
Right.
And that's me saying bad things about things that I don't understand.
Fun. But he's going to say good things and a slew of things about a guy you guys like in Trey Smith. Yes. That's coming up tomorrow. We'll have something else for you on Wednesday, depending on what comes from that. And then Seth's back for Chief of the North on Thursday, and then I fly out. So I hope that you guys have a good week. We'll also have a couple of tidbits in the morning videos for you. Check those out. Thanks for being here tonight. All you new members and all you super chatters, very, very thankful for you. Thank you again. We'll catch you tomorrow.